I thought tonight, we went out and we did what we needed to do. I thought we had a couple goals in mind. The first goal was to go out there and try to establish ourselves. We didn't do that as well as I thought. I really was hoping that we could go out and try to, create a 4-point cushion before that 10-point mark. And we just weren't able to do it. They were able to keep up with us, and we made just enough errors, and it was tight early, and we wanted to be able to pull away. Well, fortunately, right through the middle part of the game, that's where we pulled away and held our lead all the way through to the end. Gave us one of the other goals was to try to test our depth out. We didn't have a chance to do that the first weekend, so getting a chance to get Stella in there to get some swings. She had a couple nice kills, and then getting a chance to get Emily Wilson, back out there, and she had some great kills. But I was really proud and really happy to see what Mackenzie Chambers, when she got a chance to be on the floor again. For her to go out there, and she is so explosive and so athletic. And we knew that the way this team defended, there was going to be a lot of right side. So that's why Kari Zumak scored at such a high rate. And we knew there was going to be a lot of opportunities for Mackenzie to score as well. So we put her out there and gave her the ball as many times as we could, and she did not disappoint. I thought she did a tremendous job. So, all in all, it's a good team win. And we pack it up, we get back in there, we watch Miami and UIC play, get as much scouting as we can, break it down tonight. There's no football game for us. And got to get ready to play tomorrow, because tomorrow if you look at the instant real-time RPI, it's 2 top 5 teams in the country going at it. If you look at the overall RPI, I think it's 2 top 20 teams going at it. So it's going to be a big match for us. And so we're going to have to get some rest and get back on the floor and compete like we did really well at times tonight.
Abby was talking about how Mackenzie is just such a big fireball that she understates it a little bit and verbally, but on the court, she looked like she was killing with some authority tonight.
Yeah, she's so dynamic. She's so physical and so dynamic. And, she, even now in her 4th year, she's still learning nuances of being the best blocker she can be and covering off balls and all the little things that nobody really knows about, but she can hit, she can score, she can be a menacing block. And it's just, I couldn't be more excited that she went out there and then had the ability to score and perform in the way she did. So I told you we have depth at the right side. And, Mackenzie's obviously a big part of that. And I feel like I could go with either one of them, depending on the situation, and we could be in really great shape on the right side, which is a focal point of our offense.
So I was interested in when you mentioned that, of course, you're going to look at film for UM's team to prepare for tomorrow's game.
Right.
Is there anything that you took from last game against Syracuse to prepare for today?
No, it really doesn't help. Carmen says hi. Playing Syracuse and playing Miami are just 2 different, just because they're in the same conference, it really doesn't help us out. Mm-hmm. It's not like the conference has a certain style that nobody else has. Now, I think playing Kansas State probably gives us a much better feel for the strength, the power, the defense, the serving, the ball control, that kind of stuff. And so that match against Kansas State is going to be the one that's going to probably best help us. But again, they're different teams. They're going to have different strengths. And so we're going to watch them in person, then we're going to watch them on film, and then we're going to create our game plan, finalize that game plan tomorrow morning, and then practice.
Was there anything from that Kansas State game that you thought that the team was able to improve on a little bit today?
Sure. It's too early in the year not to improve. If I look at us, and people always ask me, well, where are you? If I think if we're 15 or 20% of where we want to be in November and December, I would think that's about right, 15 to 20%. There's a lot of things defensively that we didn't do the first weekend that we did tonight. A lot of the off-speed roll shots, some really good touches that we were able to recover. Those are things we struggled with a little bit the first weekend, but we grew on it this week. So that's something that, when you get into a big match against a big physical team like Miami, you have to be able to do all those little things well, and you have to put yourself in a position to score every time. You just can't give them the ball back and let them run their offense against you.
What about the team What about the team make them able to come back a little bit? Because I saw in the first and the third set you kind of fell off a little bit. So how was the team able to get back in?
I didn't think we fell off in the first. I think that we pulled away in the middle, and we still won like 25-12. I don't know how, and it was like tied at 8-8, so they only scored 4 points. I don't think we fell off there. I think you change the chemistry on the floor, and that's going to be a couple points from now. All of a sudden, you're playing next to new people. And even though we do that in practice, we mix them around. It's no substitute for playing when there's fans in the stands and the lights are on and the music's playing. So I think that has more to do with set number 3 is that everybody, we got everybody. We're trying to get them in there, trying to get them swings. They're nervous, so they're going to make a couple mistakes here or there, and that's okay. That's part of trying to get them some experience when you can. So I thought as a core group, I thought we were pretty solid all the way through, some people struggled at certain times, but that's it. And they'll be fine. They're going to learn from it. They're going to come back and be better next time.
How important is it to have a game like this, not only as a follow-up to the Kansas State game, but to also have a game like this that gives you the ability to facilitate those switches and getting some new people in, switching them in?
Yeah, we didn't know it was going to be like that. I think Wilmington's a lot tougher than what their record is. And so we didn't know what kind of a game it was going to be. For us, it was going to be business as usual, and we we're going to go with our starting 8 or 9, and there wasn't going to be much rotation, but the opportunity presented itself. And so we just instantly seized the opportunity. But being able to get everybody in is important. That's something that you want to do. And these are people that are working just as hard, if not harder than everybody else. They're the ones that really, they're just craving that playing time. A lot of people who are walk-ons didn't have a chance to play very often, so they get a chance in a real match to get to play. So it's fun to watch them get out there and play as well.
You mentioned that you had the ability to increase the amount of, obviously, players that were able to play, not just the regular 8 or 9. Do you think those players that you incorporated today are going to get extra minutes or extra playing time in the future?
Absolutely.
Because there was a lot of great performers.
Absolutely. I used all 4 outside hitters.
Mm-hmm.
I started off with Heidi. Heidi had a great first game. Decided to get Stella some time after that. And then Emily Wilson, who was the starting libero or starting outside in the Syracuse match, got a chance to go back out there and pick up right where she left off. I don't know if there's anybody that hits the ball harder than her. I guess after watching Mackenzie, maybe Mackenzie does. But Willie hits the ball hard, and she can block, and she can score, and she can pass, she can ball handle. We thought at that moment we wanted to go with a little bit more ball handling on the outside. So she went out there as an outside hitter and ball handled for us and did a great job. So except for the ball that hit her foot, I don't know how that happened. But yeah, and then certainly Mackenzie. Mackenzie goes out there and proves to herself, proves to her teammates, proves to her coaches, proves to the fans that she's ready. She is in this, and she is ready to go out there at any time as a starter or as a coming off the bench player to contribute where we need her to contribute. So yes, absolutely. And there's more that were on the bench that just because of the number of subs that we have, we couldn't get everybody in. We'll have to find other opportunities to get them in. But certainly I've been saying from the very beginning, we're a deep team, and I think we had a chance to prove that.
McKenna last week talked about eye work and saying the team needed to kind of shore up a little bit on that. How would you say the team shored up on that eye work aspect for this game?
So when it comes to the eye work, it's not something I really have a chance to watch. That's Brian's area. I'm watching us. I'm watching our side out by rotation. I'm watching our point scoring by rotation, trying to figure out where we are in each rotation, how many rotations we're winning. So I'm really trying to keep an eye on all the games within the game. I understand what the scoreboard says, but there's some areas where we might be lower. So for example, we were winning rotations 1, 2, 3, and 4, but 5 and 6 were struggling. So we have to still play in 5 and 6, so we had to find ways to shore up 5 and 6 to get those numbers up, just in case 1, 2, 3, and 4 went down. But yeah, I'm keeping an eye on those things. Brian's keeping an eye on the eye work. I didn't hear him complaining about it at all, so we must have done pretty good. I felt like we blocked pretty well. I thought we were pretty disciplined. Always can get better, need to get better, especially getting ready for tomorrow. But when I say get better, it's just a matter of feet in the right spot, hands in the right spot, lining up with your eyes correctly.
You had to move this game up a couple of hours due to the football game kicking off at 7 tonight. And I noticed you on Twitter promoting the game. How would you say this little quirk in the athletic schedule worked out?
Well, I mean, this is always going to happen. It happens at every football school in the country where, it's very difficult for an athletic department to run a football game and another UCF match at the same time, or, soccer or whatever. So when we knew that it was going to be a 7 o'clock kickoff with Louisville, we called Wilmington, asked if they would be willing to play the early match, and we called Miami and UIC and asked them if they'd be willing to play the late match. And everybody was okay with the switches, and so we went ahead and made the switch. Maybe it got a couple extra fans in here, I don't know. No, at least they kept them dry, I know that. So we did our part to keep people dry and then send them off to the football game. Hopefully it stopped raining out there.
Thank you so much, Coach. That's all
You're
the time
welcome.
we got.